are very well versed in the law. You have to be just to get by. And we always want to cross our T's and dot our I's. So it is nice to be treated with some respect and not be treated like a criminal. To just have some acknowledgement that the law-abiding, we're out here, we are the gun safety proponents, okay? We are the ones that actually teach children about, how to respect firearms, how to properly use them, teach parents about safe storage and safe handling. So the Second Amendment advocates, we are the ones who are for gun safety. I heard someone mention that before, as though gun safety proponents are the opposite of Second Amendment proponents, and really, you couldn't be any more wrong. So we do encourage you to pass this resolution, and I appreciate your time very much and your service during this very difficult time. Thank you for holding the meeting.
Thank you.
Next.
Yes, it's Doug Cutts.
May I?
Doug Cutts, go ahead.
Doug Cutts, Tabernacle, New Jersey as well. Had so much to say up until about 2 months ago when this pandemic started. A lot of things have changed. I'll start off, I'll just did a copy of what Teresa just said. Gun owners are the biggest gun safety advocates out there. For people to say that, it's unsafe. The gun owners themselves, we are the biggest advocates when it comes to gun safety and training, children and teaching them the right way to do it. This will not affect law enforcement at all. It's not putting law enforcement at risk. It doesn't affect any existing gun laws. It doesn't change any laws. When this pandemic first started, Murphy immediately shut down the gun stores. One of the things he shut down was the gun stores. Right there, it just threw a huge red flag and really changed things in the way we look at, our politicians and denying access for the press into some of the meetings that he was having, questioning about the Second Amendment. Your First Amendment, your Second Amendment rights were taken away when this pandemic started by Governor Murphy. We gained them back. What was one of the first things they took advantage of when this pandemic started. Most anti-gun advocates, they're ignorant to the strict gun laws that we have to deal with. They have no idea how difficult it is to legally purchase a firearm in New Jersey. I am a member of the NRA, absolutely. I'm a life member. My wife is, my daughter is. You're right, it is a special interest group, but I would not consider the U.S. Constitution and the Second Amendment a special interest. It's a little bit more important than just a special interest. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for having the meeting tonight. Thanks for reading the resolution tonight. Thanks for serving your community. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank
May
you.
I?
Sure.
May I?
Absolutely. Who's that?
My name is Cliff Toy.
Oh.
I live in Tabernacle as well. I
What?
live at 29 Acorn Drive. And I'm the gentleman, I was there before, and I mentioned that I am a Purple Heart Vietnam veteran, Army. And I just want to mention, and I think I said it last time, when I enlisted in the Army, I swore an oath, as did you, when you took your office. I think, and these oaths are probably very similar. And mine said, I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I'm willing to suggest that we might have some domestic enemies against the Constitution these days. And the idea that the Second Amendment is part and parcel of the Constitution. It's not some lame addition. It was there at the inception, and it's among, well, the right to free speech and many other things are in the Bill of Rights. These things matter, and they're becoming more and more apparent how much they matter in the wake of some governors, notably on the East and on the West Coast, that are willing to constrain our rights. And I appreciate the fact that you folks are willing to consider this. And again, it is symbolic primarily, and not a whole lot more than that. I hope you'll pass it. I hope you'll resolve as you see fit, but I hope you can see fit to pass this resolution. The Second Amendment matters. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Anybody else?
Yes. Emily Cutts, 212 Oak Lane Tabernacle.
Okay.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Emily Cutts. I first want to thank you for taking the time to serve your community on the Township Committee. I attend Seneca High School, perform on the gymnastics team, and sing the national anthem at sporting events. I also happen to be a hunter and an accomplished competitive shooter. I simply want to thank you for recognizing the importance of this resolution, especially during the situation we are currently experiencing. I strongly urge you to vote yes on this resolution and reaffirm your commitment in support of the Constitution. Thank you for your time and have a great evening.
Great. If the callers could please, if you could mute your phone, I suspect maybe somebody's on the YouTube Live, and we can hear feedback here. So if you could mute your phone if you're not speaking, I would greatly appreciate it. Anybody else?
1 second, Ken. I want to clear the people on the phones.
There's still somebody,
Yeah, we're gonna,
I've got several callers that have not muted their phones.
Can't you?
I
shut
can't,
them off?
if I have to mute everybody.
Well, do it.
And I don't know, but I don't know if anybody else has anything to say
Can we ask,
left on the go-to meeting.
can we put out a last request?
Okay. I'm going to mute everybody on the go-to meeting. This is your last chance for comment on agenda items. Okay, I'm going to mute. Oh,
I just wanted to thank everybody.
state your name and address, please.
This is Robert Stanley, 11 Leamington Road again. I just wanted to thank the committee for considering this and for your service. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, my name is Mark Cheeseman. I'm one of the authors of the resolution you're looking over, and I want to thank everybody for giving it some consideration. That's all I have to say, unless anybody has any questions for me.
sir, you said Mark Cheeseman?
Mark Cheeseman, correct.
Okay.
Ken, you'd like to make a comment?
Ken Montgomery, 3 Wilkins Road, here in Hainesport. Well, I am completely against any extra paperwork and anything like that. I am totally for the Constitution and completely agree that when our rights seemingly may be attacked by higher authorities such as counties or states, that resolutions put forth show a stance of a community and the citizens in it. So I urge the committee to please pass this resolution to show that there are people of this town who do care about that Second Amendment and their rights. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we're going to close the public comment, the first public comment session, and we're going to get into ordinances. And I have to really commend Paula, our administrator, and our staff, because with the current conditions, they've been quite busy. We have a lot of business to attend to here. We're trying to move forward. This next ordinance is appropriating the sum of $766,000 in funding from our capital improvement fund and capital fund surplus for various road improvement projects. I was hesitant about moving forward with this because of the impending economy and possible decline of tax revenue. But once I thought about it, our roads have a 20-year life expectancy, and I surely hope that this COVID-19 experience is behind us. Certainly, I don't expect it to, of course, I shouldn't say expected, but I hope it won't last for more than a couple of years. So if we need to help out on the tax side by financing some other needed items. I think this is a good project because this way the residents get to enjoy the new roads today, and these kind of things can get carried away, and just like your home or your car, if you keep letting things fall in disrepair, they're going to reach a point of no return, and I really think Hainesport has done a great job over the years with our roads. So I'd like to offer this ordinance 2020-2 and ask the committee for a vote.
I'd like to make the motion to accept.
Second?
Okay, we have a,
Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yeah.
Mayor McLaughlin?
yes.
Can we open the meeting for public comments, please?
Yes, it's for final hearing, public hearing and final adoption, so it is open for public comment. Anybody have a comment on this out there? Okay, I'll close the public comment. And this one, I'll do a public comment before we vote on it.
Thank you.
Like I'm supposed to. So we have another ordinance, 2020-3, and this has been a brewing problem in town. We have a very small force of public works, dedicated public works people. We try, and I think we do a good job of getting them the latest and best equipment to do their job safely and efficiently. But we're starting to have some trouble keeping up with some of the neighborhoods that are maturing, particularly Hainesport Chase. I can remember my own street, you'd never see leaves out. And last couple of years, man, the trees have grown, and it's just... So we're trying to find ways to manage the situation. And that's what this ordinance attempts to do. So it's 2020-3.
So moved.
Well, you're opening it for public.
Oh, yeah, we have public comment on this. Or any questions? Go ahead. Come on up, Mark.
Oh, I saw another hand, sorry. The people I live on Creek Road still, and the guy came by today and picked up a small amount of stuff that's in front of my yard. He's doing an excellent job. I'm really impressed with him. He's doing a good job. And one of the problems we're starting to see so much stuff in the last 8 weeks is people are home. They're cleaning up stuff they haven't been able to do since they've been working and everything else. I've got some dead trees that were a problem last year, and y'all couldn't take care of it because legal problems with it falling on somebody else's property. So that'll be coming down, it'll be going out in front. But he's done a really good job. I talked to him, you know, do I need to cut up in little pieces? He says, no, I'd rather have it long pieces. On my one trip, pick it up instead of 6 smaller. So that guy's done a great job. He's also, I think, the same guy that does the leaf. They've been doing an excellent job as far as I'm concerned. And from what I see, it looks like it's been doing really good around the city.
Anybody else with a comment? One of the things that this ordinance requires that trash receptacles not be kept in front yards and not necessarily be viewable from the roadway, which is starting to be a little bit of a nuisance. It's quite a comprehensive ordinance. I'm sure the information will be disseminated to the public on how we're able to continue serving, you know, our residents in an efficient way. So with that, it's open for, we done with, anybody else with the public comment? Okay, it's up for a motion.
Did you make a
I'd move.
motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second?
Make the
A
motion.
second and
We need a second.
yeah. Did
I'll
you make a
second.
motion?
Yes.
All right.
You seconded
Yeah,
it?
that's fine.
Okay, there we go.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yeah.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. This is another piece of legislation, I'll call it, ordinance 2020-4, and this authorizes the approval and payment of claims between meetings. in uncertain times, our administration requested the authority to be able to pay certain bills in between meetings that may arise, and that's what this ordinance accomplishes. Do we have a public comment or question on the ordinance? Okay, I'll close it. It's up for a
So moved.
motion.
Second?
Okay, great.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yeah.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes, the governing body has an ability to just sort of go through resolutions in a manner which we just kind of sweep by them, but I kind of don't want to do that. These were up on the docket for consent resolutions, but I kind of want to take a few minutes to show the residents that there's a lot of work going on here. So I'm going to just read them off, and then we can do a consent motion on them if you want. So we have Resolution 2020-102-5, which amends the budget for additional items of revenue and offsetting appropriation. This is something that's done. You move one expense from one column to another if you don't meet. Another thing that we're looking to do in town is Resolution 2020-103-5. Some of the committee members have noticed that a lot of the sidewalks are starting to raise and cause potential danger to people that are out walking. And this authorizes a study to identify those sidewalks and consider what we can do to rectify it. There's another Resolution 2020-104-5, which authorizes estimated property tax billing for the third quarter of 2020. There's another Resolution 2020-105-5, which we're looking for a grant application and execute a grant contract with NJOT for the Arc Road resurfacing project. So we're looking to get a grant for Arc Road in addition to the other work that we just talked about earlier, where 2020-106-5 awards a professional service contract for survey services for Stout and Caldwell. What is that project, Paul, if you don't, you can refresh my memory?
That's for the letter of interpretation with DEP for the wetlands at the Creek Turn property.
Okay, the Creek Turn pottery tract that the township bought with hopes of making it into a park at some point. We noticed that our park benches are kind of getting dilapidated in our park behind here, and is it elsewhere also?
It's here. at
Just
the
here.
municipal park.
So Resolution 2020-109-5 authorizes a purchase of park benches for the Hainesport Municipal Park. And then Resolution 2020-110-5 awards a contract for engineering services for FY 2019 and FY 2020 NJDOT municipal aid grants for Bancroft Lane and stormwater pipe lining at 22 Bancroft Lane. Again, we're, Paula and our administration is addressing road projects in a pretty diligent manner. So the committee has the option to offer one consent resolution to pass all of these items.
I'm okay with that.
We're open for, so we have a motion,
Second?
second?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yeah.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. I'm going to ask, on this next resolution, Paul, maybe you could expand on it. Resolution 2020-107-5, authorize an NJ Transit Marne Highway bus stop to be relocated.
Sure. This is in response to Committeeman Klaus receiving a concern from a resident on Marne Highway that a New Jersey Transit bus stop being located in front of his home was creating some issues with individuals utilizing the bus stop, entering his property, loitering on his property. So as a result, and a request from Mr. Klaus, And along with our code enforcement officer, who was great in helping us with this, we received approval from DOT to move that transit bus stop to the corner of Broad Street and Marne Highway.
Thank you, Jerry.
And after several months, New Jersey Transit got it done for us.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
Good-
Paula.
Good job.
The resident will be very happy. I just want to let him know that a lot of the times he was finding people on his front porch waiting, and he's got little kids. He was just, it wasn't working. But thank you. I'm glad
You're
we were able
welcome.
to.
And there's
So-
another one 50 yards further up, so.
I know.
Right.
So with that, I'll introduce 2020-107-5.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Okay, great.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So one of the functions as mayor in our form of government is to set an agenda for the meetings. So I've had a number of residents come up to me over my, I guess I've been mayor now 5 months, and the Second Amendment has been brought up quite a bit to me. So I asked our solicitor, John Gillespie, about this, and he said, Bruce, you all agree to uphold the Constitution when you are sworn in. I've personally been sworn in 9 or 10 times. I'm a veteran. I don't usually push that subject. I was sworn in as a veteran. And I said to John, can you craft a resolution that doesn't lean too far left and doesn't lean too far right, that I can present to the committee to just mention that we uphold the Second Amendment? And I think he did a great job. I think it's right down the middle, and I'm going to ask the committee to consider that resolution at this point.
Well, I'd like to, can I make comment? first?
Absolutely.
Okay, first of all.
Any committee person can comment at any.
Great. I have the letter that was given to us. It says, one side gun right advocate, the other side gun safety advocates. Gun right advocates are the biggest gun safety advocates there are. So they're not on two different sides. I take exception there, the resident who wrote, the resolution will confuse otherwise law-abiding citizens. Our residents are pretty smart. I don't think they're going to get confused. She says, assume why we take the risk. I have another take on this. First of all, I want legal gun ownership. The fact that they the governor increased the application, the application to purchase by 1,000%, and the application to carry by 2,000%, that drives up the cost. And with increased cost, you actually can buy a gun illegally cheaper than applying for a permit. So that actually is encouraging illegal gun purchases when we want legal gun purchases. And there's another point. When you increase the cost so much that people can't afford to apply to legally own a gun, you are actually taking away their Second Amendment rights. And who does this hurt the most? Low-income people, the people who should be able to purchase a gun if they could legally own it. So I take exception to the cost increases because I think it actually does take away Second Amendment rights to a majority group of the people who can't afford to even apply to purchase a gun no more. Like I said, you could buy a gun cheaper than applying for the permit, and that's just wrong. Thank you.
Any other comments from the committee on the resolution before we take a vote?
Yes, this is Ted Costa. I'd like to make a comment. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'd like to say that as a lawyer, someone mentioned something about lawyers, but I'm a lawyer, and I proudly support the United States Constitution and every amendment in it. So I'm also a lifetime member of the NRA, but that doesn't matter. Even if I were not a member of the NRA, I would still support all the rights bestowed upon us by our great founders. You know, when as I read about the founding of our country, it's really a miracle that we got this group of learned men, experienced people who read books about ancient Rome, the ancient Greek democracies, and they figured out what works and what doesn't work. And they put together a masterpiece of a constitution. And this thing has lasted a long time, over 200 years, almost 250 or so, and it's just been amazing. We really are the ideal country for the entire world to behold. And that's why so many people want to come here, in fact. And it really kind of disturbs me when I hear people saying that they don't appreciate some matter of our Constitution. With gun rights, you know, New Jersey's one of the strictest states in the nation, and every year they try to make it harder. You've already heard an example from Jerry Klaus about the cost of permits. That's true. I'll give you another one, how stupid and whimsical some of these regulations are. If I go to Pennsylvania and buy a rifle, I can get a flexible stock, which fits snugly into my shoulder. But in New Jersey, I can't. I have to buy a fixed stock, which makes it tough for my wife to use. I can't have the same rifle used by my wife, because you have to buy now 2 guns, which is ridiculous. That's just one example of the nuisance regulations New Jersey has imposed on us year after year. So yes, I would like to make this resolution even stronger, but I'll take it. Any support I can give to our great United States Constitution, I will give. Thank you.
Okay, I'll offer Resolution 2020-108-5.
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a vote?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Up until the virus afflicted us, I was absolutely shocked at the level of development and interest in development in Hainesport. I'd like to commend members of the prior year committees for doing a lot of the legwork on some of this development, Leila, Jerry, Lee, and we still have a lot of interest in town. We were kind of skipped over Mount Laurel, nothing in Hainesport, Lumberton, and now the interest is, and the economic interest seems to have fallen on us. And it's very important that the committee and myself try to set this development up in a correct manner to uphold the way of life of Hainesport. We're different than Mount Laurel. We're different than Lumberton, and I want to continue the life that we lead in town. This resolution actually helps us to develop, I would consider blighted, afflicted areas in town by asking the planning board to investigate in a non-condemnation way and deem this area in need of development. So, and it's the old, I don't know if anybody knows where it is, but it's the telephone pole creosote property along the tracks way down. It's heavily polluted, and we really need to help develop that in a positive manner. So we're going to ask the planning board with this resolution to start investigating ways to develop that. So Resolution 2020-111-5 is up for adoption.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider? Yes. Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Okay, next one. So, this resolution, 2020-112-5, I get the names mixed up Blue Water, Black Creek. We have a lot of developers with the same names, but this enters into an escrow agreement with the Black Creek Group for that very same parcel. So they're undertaking investigations on their own also while the town is taking a look at this tract. So that's what Resolution 2020-112-5 does.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. We have 4 applicants for business licenses. They're attached. So we just like to approve Marrow Brothers, Image First, Tri-R, and Action A-Rate, A-R-A-T-E, for business licenses. We have a motion to approve those business licenses?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Since the meeting's going on, we have a proclamation for Building Safety Month that I'm really not going to read. If anybody wants to see it, a copy's available. But it's pretty comprehensive about building and building safe. So do we have a motion to enter and file the
So moved.
correspondence?
Second.
Okay?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. And now we have another public comments section, so, yes, ma'am. Nancy, yep.
I have a question about Our Lady Queen of Peace church that's being built. We've had gone over and over for a while, a couple of years, the egress and ingress on Marne and Lumberton Road. And it was finalized a few months ago that we were going to have the same in only and out only on Marne and Lumberton. But the way that it's been built, it looks like they're not the same. The concrete that is in the middle on Lumberton Road has it's like almost like a triangle is what's on Marne. It's a half a triangle with like a concrete piece going all the way down. So it looks like people can actually come up to to Lumberton Road and make a left turn onto Lumberton Road, which is very, very close to that red light, which they also have an arrow on Marne when that's turning green, and you got people coming. So I just wanted to know, was that a mistake? Because it was supposed to be both sides. It was overruled by the county. From the township, they overruled the way that it was supposed to go. It was actually supposed to take some of our property and do all this stuff, and that did not stop. We didn't follow those about that. And we did get a letter asking if we would give up 10 feet of our land so that this shoulder could happen. And myself and the neighbor on the corner, we both said absolutely not. You know, these are telephone poles that'll be 10, 15 feet from our front door. So it would be 25 feet because of the 10 foot that the county owns of that road. So it looks like, after, I didn't even realize it, actually, the neighbor told me, she's like, that just doesn't look right. And I stood out there and I saw a public service truck go in there from Marne with the correct way going in. And he didn't look like he was going to be doing in there was turning around. But there's just so many of those little island things, he had a hard time turning.
Yeah. So what I'm going to suggest, Nancy, is that our administrator check with our engineer and make sure that whatever improvements have been made on that site conform to the site plan that was voted on and approved by the planning board, and whatever other entities have a say in that. So if you don't mind, Paula, could you take a look?
Carla did call. She left me a message about this
Yeah,
as well, but.
It just looks like it's a possibility that they could make a left unless they're gonna put right on that island, no left turn, right turn only. But I just don't know why they would make it so, you
Yeah.
know, to the end, and that people would think, because that public service guy did come out and make a left onto Lumber.
Okay, well,
Okay, I appreciate that.
we'll do a little investigation and make sure everything conforms to the site plan that was approved by all the government agencies.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you, Smitty.
I'd like to say something, please.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, oh yeah.
I'm at M63 Carry Drive. I just want to put on record for people who are confused as to why there are so many people from Tabernacle here. The call for people to come to Hainesport, to the virtual Hainesport video meeting, was on the Burlington County Second Amendment Sanctuary page for the last 8 hours. It gave the full details of how to join the GoToMeeting with the access code. And it's ended by saying anyone can call from different townships or counties in New Jersey. And that county meeting, that county Facebook group, the Burlington County Second Amendment Sanctuary Group, there is one of those for every county in New Jersey and every state in the United States of America. So I understand that there are residents within Hainesport who believe that this is what they want, but we are effectively being manipulated by powerful forces on a national level, and you've just gone along with that. That being said, you've passed the resolution. Paula, please, could I have a copy of the text of the resolution? I'd also like to add that it would have been much better if the text of the resolution had been made available, because all we had to go on was the one that's been propagated by these national lobbying groups. Now, it could be that the one that you've is significantly different, but all we had to go on was the one that is being pushed down from the top level by the Gun Owners of America. So, Paula, can I get a copy of the resolution after the meeting, please?
Yes.
Okay, that's it, thanks.
Deborah.
I just wanted to make a short comment with respect to the passage of the resolution as well. There were comments that were made that the cost of getting a permit is so high that somebody who can't afford it won't be able to purchase them. This resolution is not going to change that. What you have to do is you have to lobby to the legislature. That's how laws are changed. In fact, one of the biggest laws that we have in this country, the right to counsel, that's how it was done. There was a man back in the mid-1960s who represented himself and said, I am indigent and I have a right to counsel. And he took it all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court, and that's how that law came into effect. And so this resolution doesn't change that. Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment? Mark, did you have something you wanted to say? Good? Okay, going once, twice, gone. Okay, we have somebody who, okay, somebody out there wants to make a comment?
Go ahead. Wait.
I'm Diane Gary. I live at 7 Melody Court, Hainesport. And the purpose of my call is I have a restriction on my deed for the Melody Court Basin for 16-home development. Right now, the purpose is really, because of this restriction on my deed, I'm requesting, I know when Mr. Dickinson, when he was the mayor several years ago, it was already passed for this restriction to be removed, and Mr. Gillespie, he has prepared the documentation to remove the restriction from the responsibility from two homeowners to the township, and requesting if the township and the mayor and the deputy mayor of the committee can revisit this issue regarding the restriction on ID. The other issue that I want to talk about, I sent yourself and the deputy mayor a copy of the survey for the valedictorian basin, and I'm hoping that there's an opportunity for the township, for the planning board to review.
You sent it
the
to all of
limits
us?
Where the basin ends, to look at that, because myself as a homeowner, I don't have an issue taking care of where the basin ends. That's not an issue right now. What I'm concerned about is from the pond to that survey based on the drawing, that's responsibility for the basin. For the DEP rule, it is responsible for not for a homeowner to take care of the basin, but where the basin ends is my responsibility. So I just wanted to share this information, and if there's an opportunity, I really appreciate for yourself and the committee to take a look at this. Also, a few other comments I want to highlight. I just think the Public Works Department are doing a fantastic job and just interacting with the clerk assistant, Sarah Wicker, she's awesome, and the other members of work, like the tax collector and everyone else. I just think that I'm very blessed to live in Hainesport Township and interacting with everyone. And also, thank you for extending the tax payment for the residents of Hainesport Township. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Next time I'm in the building, I'll take a look at it for you. Probably, I was involved in the formation of the basin because we realized as a small town, as a lot of these developments took place, that we just did not have the physical ability to maintain these basins. And we either requested a homeowners association take care of them or an adjacent property owner. So I might be the guy who caused your situation, but I'll certainly be glad to take a look at it with our administrator. Anybody else?
I really appreciate that, and I'm very grateful. And as I stated in my email, the last 2.5 years, I started a manufacturing company in Burlington, New Jersey. So I was overwhelmed trying to get this company off the ground. We built circuit boards here. So I apologize for not reaching out 2.5 years ago, but I am so busy. I'm actually calling you from the factory right now. So
Okay, that's fine.
so much.
I mean,
I really appreciate
I'll be happy to take a look at it, but again, I'm probably the guy who caused your trouble, but let me take a look at it. Anybody else?
Not an issue. It's fine. I totally understand, and I really appreciate the township taking a look at this. And I apologize for sending an email to the DEP, but I really wanted the DEP to provide guidance, because when they looked at the basin in 2017, the basin was not marked, and the survey, that was something they should look at to see where the survey ends before they determine who is responsible for that piece of land. That's my only concern, why I pushed back when Mr. Gillespie provided the documentation to remove the restriction, because I know what the survey, where the line ends, which is where the top of the basin based on the drawings. I really appreciate the opportunity. Okay, thank you so much.
And I'm going to repeat that we're very resistant to taking on new responsibilities for our Public Works Department. But we'll take a look at it. That's, you asked us to do that, and we owe you that much to take a look at it for you. If there's something that can be done, I'm
Thank
sure
you,
we'll
Mayor.
consider it. So, anybody else with public comment? Mr. Murdy?
I do have one thing I'd like to say.
Oh,
please.
sorry.
Shelley Kennedy.
Give us one second.
104 East Highland, Atlantic Highland. I'd like to congratulate Ford for passing the Second Amendment resolution. I really admire you for taking this on at such a time. And I'm very sad to see that it didn't take more than a few minutes for someone to start slandering you already and foisting a bunch of information over the phone that could best be described as a conspiracy theory. The people here who have been speaking to you today are concerned citizens who take no money for our efforts, but we simply love the Constitution. And we're very glad that you stood up for the law of the land. Far from being some sort of well-funded effort, I think the forces aligned against our Second Amendment in this country are indeed some of the most well-funded in the world. And I really applaud your courage to stand up to those forces and defend your oath of office. Again, thank you very much from my heart, and congratulations.
Okay, anybody else? Mark?
On the sidewalk, that's what I was referring to, the resolution amending the sidewalk on Creek Road between Hainesport and Mount Laurel Road, and then the opposite end. It's like going all over the place, and there's dips and everything else. And I had another gentleman, almost my age, saying that he's having a hard time walking down there because it's so off. If you hit one of the holes, you go down about 3 inches. So it's just a safety hazard.
Yeah.
And I was the guy that asked if they put it on our side of the road to keep people from crisscrossing across the road to go down the wall on all the other shops. So I'll take some responsibility for that. And that's all I have on that. Thank you.
Okay, last call. Comments from our administrator.
I have a few. Our solid waste bid opening is scheduled for tomorrow at 10 a.m. So far, we've received one bid. I do expect to receive some bids tomorrow right before 10 a.m. I wanted to report that our tax collection as of today, compared to last year, same day, let me just get that number out. Our tax collector provided that for us. Let's see here. We're at 84.75%, and on this date last year, we were 89.71%. So we're about 5% lower. Now, please keep in mind that we still have not had our tax sale, and our lien holders still have not paid. Obviously, they're not going to pay until after June 1st. So those are things that absolutely affect our percentage rate. And the word has gotten out that you all did extend the grace period. So I think 5% is pretty favorable for today compared to last year and the pandemic. I want to remind residents that while the municipal building is closed to the public, we are still working inside the building with normal business hours. The drive-up tax drop box is still available for payment or standard envelope correspondence. We also put out a banker's box daily next to the side entrance door, the pavilion side, for exchanges of larger correspondence such as permits, large files, maps, etc. You can always call and email us for general questions and communication. We continue to make arrangements for in-person meetings or file review with proper coordination and screening. I was informed on Friday that EPA did not award either of the Brownfield Cleanup Grant or assessment grants to Hainesport Township. $2 million of these federal grant funds were given to a handful of New Jersey entities, including the City of Camden, Cooper's Ferry Partnership, also of Camden, New Jersey, as reported by, let's see here, Congressman Donald Norcross, and the NJ, EDA, and Jersey City. So those are the 4 entities that received the grant funding this year. We will be doing a post-grant evaluation with our Region 2 EPA representative, as we did last year, to find out, where we failed again this year in our grant application. The Memorial Day ceremony that was scheduled for May 25th at 9 a.m. has been canceled for this year. However, any organization that would like to place a wreath at the memorial here at the municipal building are more than welcome to do so. The school districts have passed their budgets. The Hainesport School District levy of $9,143,626 has a slight increase from last year of $42,017, which translates to $14.71 per year increase for the average assessed homeowner of $278,497. The Rancocas Valley Regional Levy of $3,829,132 for Hainesport taxpayers includes an increase of $172,000. This does reflect the recently approved debt service for the high school building and the IT improvements. I want to also announce that we are now offering our meeting live on YouTube. So if you search for Hainesport YouTube Live, you can always view our meeting as it's occurring. I'm trying to shake out the details in terms of communicating with viewers via the YouTube chat option. I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet, maybe by the next meeting. So again, we're doing as much as we can to make our meetings available to the public. Actually, we're getting more participation now, it seems, than we did before, which is fantastic. Also, I will have that link available on our monthly meeting notices. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Comments from the solicitor?
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jose Calvis. I work for John Gillespie. I'm covering the meeting for him. Thanks for having me. I really have nothing else to add other than I appreciate having an excuse to leave my house. So it's good seeing everyone.
Hope we gave you a good meeting tonight.
Always. You're one of the easy ones. We like the best.
So we have comments from the committee. I'll start with Lee.
Everyone stay safe, and thank you for attending. Thank you for calling in. Thanks.
Lee, Mrs. Gilmore?
Well, just thank you for coming. I look forward to a day in the near future that I can bring everybody up to date on events that are happening and have happened in the town. But I hope everybody has a chance to read the safety proclamation. The people here in this building do a lot to make sure that things go right and are done right in the town, and they're working very diligently, even though we're all at home watching Hallmark, crying. They've done quite a job, and all of our volunteers, whether they be the fire department, the EMTs, they're still doing the things they need to do to make sure the town is